up and do it good.
To stay south of the river with the chains and the gold. We could be out here together, but you had places to go. Watching the sunshine lace the grey. I don't know why you wouldn't stay. You should come south of the river where the loving is gold. south of the river. This is where it all starts. I think that we could stay here forever, lie on the roof till it's dark. And when the last bus pulls away, I swear that I almost heard you say I should move south of the river. I want to get to know, I want to get to know. The river.
Like you take this particular song, for instance, it's been done by many, but I gotta do it my way. It says simply, I do it my way. It says simply, I do it my way. It says simply, just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, put an end to you. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. So then a plan to make, put an end to you. You know everybody's got their own way of doing anything. Like you take this particular song, for instance, it's been done by many, but I gotta do it my way. It says simply, just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. So then a plan to make, put an end to you. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. So then a plan to make, put an end to you. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. So then a plan to make, put an end.
direction. I'm meant to ride this ocean, traveling in slow motion, paddling with no question. Early morning with the sun, not yet burning, innocent. I try to be a good son, myself 100%. Oh, I feel it inside. I wanna reach that. It's somewhere inside. I wish I reached that. Skyline, skyline. I wanna reach that skyline. Skyline. I wish I reached that skyline. Skyline. I'm gonna reach that skyline. Skyline. Endless troubles to go through. They are strewn in the city. Daily struggle to be true. Betray authenticity. Poison all around, but still I will take another round or another ride until we take off from the ground. I feel it inside. I wanna reach that. It's somewhere inside. I wish I reached that. Reach that skyline. Skyline. I wanna reach that skyline. Skyline. I wish I reached that skyline. Skyline. I wanna reach that skyline. Skyline.
Skyline, inside, I see a skyline. 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 Inside.
If you can, please do stand.
Please do sit down. Bore da, croeso I Gaerdydd. Good morning and welcome to Cardiff. Welcome to the Utilita Arena and to this Cardiff University 2025 graduation ceremony. My name is Gareth Powell, and I have the immense privilege of being a Pro-Chancellor of Cardiff University. Today is a day for celebration and enjoyment. The celebration of achievement, hard work, and of friendship. And we are here to mark the achievements of students from our School of Law and Politics and our School of Welsh. Acquiring a university education is no mean feat. Those of you who are to receive your awards today have demonstrated dedication, commitment, and a capacity and enthusiasm for exploring the world. And as a result, you have the knowledge, the talent, and most importantly, the compassion to become positive forces for change in an all too uncertain world. Students from our School of Law and Politics are skilled in understanding the interface between politics, international relations, and everyday life in local communities. And you do this having developed a deep understanding of law and its relation in society. I always say that one of the great things about the university is that you are never very far from a lawyer. And what could be better than that? Well, the answer, of course, is the School of Welsh. And those of you who are graduating with various qualifications from the School of Welsh have developed and explored what it is to have an insight into Welsh language, culture, and history, and its dynamic relationship to Wales as a truly global nation. All of you who are receiving awards today tell the world that you are ambitious and passionate and have creative minds. Embark, I encourage you, on the next phase of your life with all the confidence and all the possibilities that that brings. Thank you for all you have brought to your respective schools and to our university. And you are, of course, joined by a large number of supporters, families and friends, those of you who have seen this process from a different perspective, but are here today to celebrate. And please do so with great enthusiasm. We are here because we are proud of your achievements. I now have the pleasure of introducing Hannah Pierce. Hannah will read the proclamation which formally declares this ceremony open, and then she will read a poem, Education, commissioned from the Welsh national poet Gwyneth Lewis, specifically for this occasion. Many of you will have encountered Gwyneth Lewis's work before in the 6-foot-high letters that adorn the outside of the Wales Millennium Centre, thought to be the biggest poem in the world, which is, of course, typical of the ambition that we have today. So enjoy today and celebrate. Diolch yn fawr.
Education by Gwyneth Lewis. Beiddio a feiddio, gwellhad y wneud. Myna geisio, parcha ddweud. Traws newidiad fydd dy glod. Dy ddyfodol, mentro bod. Learning's a passport that returns you home a better person. It permits you to dare being daring, makes you secure with not knowing everything, helps you welcome some failure, forges an alloy with others' thinking. It is simple delight in mind and its motions, scintillates but isn't deceptive, admits the joy of institutes, is the open road to everywhere but bigotry. It's the shortest distance between you and me, and if you're lucky, it never ends. I will now read the proclamation, first in Welsh and then in English. Nerth gwlad yw gwybodau. Boed hysbys I holl aelodau'r Brifysgol ac ar hyd a lled y byd fod cynulliad o Brifysgol Caerdydd yn cael ei gynnal heddiw ym Mhrifddinas Cymru. O dan awdurdod Siarter Frenhinol y Brifysgol, mae'r cynulliad hwn yn cyfarfod I dderbyn y myfyrwyr, sydd yn rhinwedd I hastudiaethau a'i hysgolheicdod, wedi'i harholi'n briodol yn unol â statudau'r Brifysgol, ac wedi'i cael yn deilwng o'i graddau. Wrth ddathlu llwyddiant y rhai sy'n graddio yn y cynulliad hwn, fe'i hatgoffon o'i cyfrifoldeb I gyfrannu o werthoedd y Brifysgol hon. Nod iddynt hwy yw ceisio drwy cyflawniadau wasanaethu lles pawb, ymdrechu I sicrhau rhagoriaeth ym mhob peth ac yn boeni am ddyfodol ein byd. Gwrandewch yn awchus ar ddaethineb, gan ei fod yn cynnig gobaith a gwirionedd ym mhob cenhedlaeth. Nerth gwlad yw gwybodau. A nation's strength is in its learning. Let it be known to all members of the university and throughout the world that today, in the capital city of Wales, a congregation of Cardiff University is taking place. Under the authority of the university's Royal Charter, this congregation meets to receive those students who, by virtue of their studies and scholarship, have been appropriately examined according to the statutes of the university and found worthy of their degrees. We celebrate the success of those who graduate in this congregation, and in doing so, remind them of their responsibility to share in the values of this university. It is for them to seek to their achievements, to serve the common good, to strive for excellence on all things, and care for the future of our world. Be attentive to wisdom, for it offers hope and truth in every generation.
Bore da. Catrin Edith Parry ydw I Slywydd y Gymraeg o Undeb Myfyrwyr Caerdydd. Good morning. My name is Catrin Edith Parry, your Vice President Cymraeg from the Students' Union. Caerdydd, mae hi'n fraint eich cyfarch chi heddiw. Cyfle I ddathlu yr hyn rydych wedi gyflawni o fewn eich amser yma. Cardiff, it's a privilege to address you today, a day which you will all remember fondly for the rest of your lives. For many of you, today marks the end of an era and the beginning of the next chapter of your life. At the beginning of this journey, many of you had been faced with the exciting but daunting prospect of moving away from home, whether that be from Pwllheli, Portsmouth or Peru, making new friends and perhaps living independently for the first time. None of these are easy feats, so for that I congratulate you, llongyfarchiadau mawr. During your time at Cardiff, you may have had to overcome some challenges. You may have been the first in your family to go to university. You may be a carer or have dependents and have had to balance that with university life. Or maybe you've battled something else entirely. You should all feel very proud of what you've achieved, both personally and academically. The experiences you've shared together in the seminar room, a society or a sports club, the opportunities you have embraced and the relationships that you have built have made you into the graduate and the person that you are today. As you reflect on your time here, let's acknowledge the hard work and dedication that brought you to this moment. It's not about the degrees you hold, but the friendships you've made, the lessons you've learned, and the growth you've experienced. Wrth edrych yn ôl ar dy gyfnod yma, byddwch yn falch o'r hyn rydych wedi ei gael wrth arwain yma. Mae'r ffrindiau rydych wedi creu yn werthfawr ac yn rhan enfawr o'ch profiad, ac wrth gwrs yr holl nosweithiau yng Nghlwb Bach. You may or may not know exactly what you're doing next, but as you step into the next chapter, carry with you the resilience that you've developed and the memories that you've cherished. Face the future with confidence, knowing that you're equipped to tackle everything that comes your way. May your care ever be for the good name of our university and the well-being of the world. Congratulations, class of 2025. Llongyfarchiadau Graddedigion 2025.
Bore da iawn I chi gyd, a chroeso twym galon I chi gyd. A very, very warm welcome to you this morning. Fenw I yw'r athro Damien Wolford-Davies. My name is Professor Damien Wolford-Davies. I'm the Provost and Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Cardiff University. And today my job is a joyful one and a very, very simple one. It is just to welcome all students to receive their award. And I'll say something about the dynamics and the mechanics of that in a moment. That is the part of the ceremony where the students' names are read out by a senior member of the university, and each student crosses the stage, a moment that is special, it is unique, and it's deserving of all the noise you can make. So please do celebrate, and this is really important, the achievement of our students as they cross the stage by clapping or by cheering. You can be creative, but I know that you will keep it classy, right? Achibwch y cyfle da chi I fod yn beraidd swnllyd wrth ddathlu aelodau o'ch teulu a'ch ffrindiau. Now, once all the students for each award have crossed the stage and returned to their seats, I will ask them to stand, and this is my favourite part of the ceremony. It's our tradition for me to speak in what is my own first language, Welsh, to receive each group of graduates to their awards.
And there's a little bit of magic that happens here. Now, technically, and I think I'm right in remembering this, degrees are actually awarded and students actually get their degrees at the exam boards back in the schools. But there's something about conferring the award ceremonially that has, as I say, that little bit of magic to it. And the Welsh formula that I will use translates as, through the authority conferred upon me by the university, I receive you to your award with all the privileges this confers. Congratulations. And in Welsh, trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd I mi gan y Brifysgol, derbyniaf chi i'ch dyfarniad a'r holl freintiau a ddaw yn ei sgil llongyfarchiadau. So if you listen out for the Welsh word for congratulations, llongyfarchiadau, I will give you a prompt, and then that is the cue for more whooping and classy celebrations. I now introduce my colleague, Dr. Perry Roberts, from the School of Law and Politics, who will present the students for their awards. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
I, Dr. Perry Roberts, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Virginia Bamber. Bailey Farrow. Charlotte Hawkins. Eleanor Jennings. Ruby Johnson. Isabel Kettle. Andriana King. Amelia Lilitu. Saffron Llewellyn. Grace Mann. Emily Monk. Finn Osborne. Ishika Patel. Noah James Russell. Yasmin Sultan. Chloe Tiller. Ewan Zavadsky. I, Dr. Perry Roberts, now introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Economic and Social Studies. Ewelua Blonde Adu. Sorry. Ben Alden. Galia Khaled Al-Rawashad. Leah Amflet. Max Ashton. Maya Lily Atwell. Dylan Aubrey. Alexander Evan Ayadin. Nancy Barfield. Louis Barnes. Isabel Rose Bennett. Jaya Bandal. Ben Billingham. Isabella Jane Blanchard. Mark Bobkovich Green. Madeline Boland. Christian John Boucher. Mabel Alice Bradley. Joseph Britton. Imogen Brooks. Luke James Brown. Harley Bryan. Holly Bunce. Dylan Burr. Georgia Buss. Thomas Buss. Thomas Elvin. Kate Byatt. Neve Calvert. Betson Grieg Campbell. Charlie Carson. Guy Calstry. Chan Chuk Yu Joshua. Millicent Chandramani. Kiara Chung Tak Man. Jack Anthony Segan. Harry Clark. Lottie Elizabeth Clark. Thomas Jean Clark. Tyler Clark. Alice Lydia Clark. Caitlin Cleave. Benjamin Colburn. Edward Collins. Ben Conroy. Juno Conway. Jack Coombs. Isabel Michaela Florence Corbett. Richard William Cork. Mia Corniss. Will Crane. Ollie Crouch. Liv Crow. Keely Cutter. Dior Darwish. Leah Clwyd Davis. William Owen Davis. Callum James Dean. Anusha Devereux. Simran Kaur-Duga. James Duminil. Adam Nigel Dunstan. Sophie Easton. Amelia Victoria Eaton. Carla Erskine. Luna Rubio Rotondo. Keris Finch. Isaac William Fletcher. Zoe Fletcher. Matthew Flowers. Charlotte Francis. Joshua Daniel Franklin. Morgan Gray Fraser. Lucy Jane French. Cameron Fivey. Kira May Gibson. Oliver Miles Gilbert. Mariam Gohar. Oscar Sam John Grantham. Conrad Green. Thomas James Griffin. Tristan Gwinnett. Lucy Hagan. Phoebe Halls. Annabel Jane Hancock. George Peter Henry Handley. Maisie Victoria Hanlon. Daisy Victoria Heeman. Fred Hewitt. Hannah Katia Hurd. Max Holden. Finley Hooper Middleton. Phoebe Hopkins. Grace Horton. AJ Howarth. Matthew Huxtable. Emily Sophie Jakes. Emily Jenkins. Dylan Johal. Jack Jones. Robert Patrick Merritt Jones. Patricia Carper. Esha Pavani Karanaratna. Erin Kemet. Louis Kent. Adina Kawaja. Sarah Alicia Cambert. Isabella Meredith Reed Lane. Jacob Lavin. Lily Grace Law. Amy Jean Lehman. Sam McPherson Lemon. Giancarlo Lavano Zavalos. Josh Levitt. Sasha Littman. Keris Lloyd. Zacharias Paul Lloyd. Alp Ahmet John Lodge. Thomas Mika Lowen. Joseph Hanley. Jack Mansell. Dexter Mansell Thomas. Lily Marder. Oliver Marlowe. Anjali Mahawaha. Ria Matthias. Harry May. Megan McCabe. Owen Michael McKenna. Cameron Mills. Nathan Mintz. Janvi Modwadir. Jack Lewis Monk. Rio Moss. Philip Naitete. Rafaela Nascimento. Connor Nash. Haiyin Ngan. Millie Nixon. Jude Charles Noble. Daniel Nuttall. Torin Ullers. Sam Oja. James Oldfield. Rodri Clear Vipond Owen. Rose Payne. Mia Frowley Parsons. Sophie Pask. Patrick Peake. Dullan Campbell Pierce Taylor. Sophia Shelley Pelayo. Luna Sophie Pesce. Hannah Phillips. Maria Dorothy Pollard. Thomas Pope. Lucy Porter. Tilly Grace Potter. Sam Francis Powell. Abigail Rose Price. Claudia Pritchard. William Robert Stephen Pritchard. Holly Perkis. Isabella Ram. Daniel Rankin. Johan Edward Gwilym Reyno. Alfie Ellis Reynolds. Ella Revolta. Ella Roberts Hayamizu. Frederick Rogers. Patricia Rumsey. Avi Rupralia. Thomas Scott. Jack Seymour. Thibaut Segrot. Caitlin Seltsikas. Lucy May Senik. Roshni Sheshplakita. Athena Shendi. Jessica Shepstone. Reuben Smallwood. Abby Jane Smith. Martha Smith. Lucas Smythe. Jack Thomas Somerville. Tegan Sparks. Jacob Stafford. Bella Kate Stanley. Florence Stockham. Ted Stone. Razan Suleiman. Dylan Joseph Lawrence Taker. Benjamin Adam John Talbot. Chloe Marie Tapper. Emily Taylor. Senan Taylor. Alex Temmink. Bethany Thomas. Patrick Thomas. Charlie Thorogood. Mary Elizabeth Nancy Thurston. Daisy Elizabeth Tipping. Isabel Tischler. Erin Tosh. Emily Toll. Isabel Trickle. Bethia Lucy Ann Tucker. Jacob Underwood. Grace Rosa Gian Unwin. Darshni Vajiani. Hannah Verge. Jasmine Jingvoon Bellas. Christopher Matthew John Wade. Erica Walton. Amy Rebecca Jane Webb. Ben Wheaton. Evie Willock. Amy Daniela Whitaker Garcia. Sam Marcus Whiting. Jennifer Whitaker. Connor Sutherland Williams. Theon Williams. Zephyr Williams. Madeline Wilson. Amelia Wiltshire. Caris Wiradu. Joshua George Wright. Samia Yassin. Lama Zain. Take that with me.
Rwy fi, Dr Dylan Foster Evans, yn cyflwyno'r rhai sydd wedi derbyn gradd baclor yn y celfyddydau. I, Dr. Dylan Foster Evans, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Cynwal ap Myrddin. Non Bleddyn Jones. Charlie Butcher. Aneurin Jack Davis. Non Vaughan Davis. Ffion Enlli Davis. Megan Davis. Llyr Ifan Eirig. Ffion Mair Evans. Lily Grieg Evans. Mari Fflir Fychan. Ffion Hodder. Ffion Wyn Sinnett Jones. Sarah Jones. Seren Beth Jones. Mariam Khan. Owain Meirion Llywelyn. Mari Elliw Morgan. Elin Alaw Owen. Eben Alun Pierce. Lois Sangharad Lloyd Roberts. Anest Medi Williams. Caddy Gwen Williams. Ellie Jane Glenys Worsnip. Bydd y dirprwy is-ganghellor yn nawr yn cyflwyno'r dyfarniad. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor will now confer the award.
Gwaith da bawb. You sustained the applause at a very decent level there. Well done. There were some cries there from the very depths of human understanding. We want more of that. Would all the students who have just crossed the stage please stand if you're able to? Trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd I mi gan y Brifysgol, derbyniaf chi i'ch dyfarniad a'r holl freintiau a ddaw yn ei sgil. Llongyfarchiadau. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Snedwch. Sit. Thank you. There we go.
I, Professor Van Chalik, introduce those who have received the graduate diploma. Benjamin Felix Ainsley. Atarfa Ranjit Aga Dave Miskin. Amelia Peggy Bradbury. James Baker. Rowena Carr. Erin Cowell. Roseanne Crook. Cerys Branwyn Hughes. Emily Charlotte Lees. Rhianne Kathleen Lewis. Isabel Mann. Dominic Nikoloff Maganev. Phoebe Middle. Kate Ryan. Harwa Ali Shakir. Fraser Welsh. I, Professor Urfan Khalik, introduce those who have received the postgraduate certificate. Joseph Roscoe Milne. I, Professor Urfan Khalik, introduce those who have received the postgraduate diploma. Amalin Binti Muhammad Azizul. Matthew Bird. Jasmine Chu Ashi Ting. Shania Helena DeLoe. Henrietta Jane Gilchrist. Connor James Graves. Meline Hope Brown. Georgia Louise Lynn Hutchins. Hannah Jennings. Ellen Zara Jones. Ella Rose Keegans. Kianjia Sean. Alexandra Kisi Ella Fesca. Emma Llewellyn. Charlotte Millard. Lucas Parker. Ashley Tu Tsien Yi. Rebecca Williams. I, Professor Urfan Khalik, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Arts. Rhiannon Jones. Jonathan Adam Curl. Elianne Morris. Ellie Louise Stewart Williams.
Can you say Modi first, please? Modi.
Modi Capel Williams. Ada Rainey. Fraser Abbas. It's a Y. I can't read this handwriting. Adiniye Uluwafanko Maria. Nelson Amaral. Louis Ayres. Chloe Beddoes. Corey Bordeaux. Tulula Bray B. O'Brien. Lucy Ann Callan. Robert Peter Callow. Ross Louis Thomas Chatburn. Rosanna Eileen Chitty. Anna Jankovic. Emilia Davis. Onkur Dar Chowdhury. Eslit Inyon. James Ian Farmer. Joseph Rees Gape. Neve William. Aaron Haig. Isaac Hawksworth. Benjamin Hitchens. Kia Alexandra Holmes. Bethany Howells. Ben Jones. Gwion Llwyd Jones. Marnie Elizabeth Jones. Jack Austin Juby. Soham Ravindra Kulkarni. Ryan Ledbetter. Owen Kang Ming Lee. Ayon Meher. Owen Charles Matthews. Sean Ellery Morgan. Morgan Lee Morris. Jamie Olds. Layla Parker Heath. Sindhu Pagalenti. Hubert Rubinsky. Zaki Kamal Rafiq. Owen Rees. Eric Chung Sit. Claire Rachel Slater. Michael James Stewart. Nirushan Sudarsan. Kanika Suresh. Emily Thompson. Matthew James Tomlin. Samuel Wakefield. Reese Watkins. Lou Benjamin Welshman Williams. I, Professor Urfan Khalik, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Laws. Jessica Adams. Jana Louise Galsima John. Fatima Ali. Shirad Ali. Andrew Peter and Sumana. Edmund Stephen Anya. Winita China Armitage. Shivank Babar. Irfana Inmaz Binti Haji Sahabuddin. Georgia Rose Bosley. Hannah Mae Cardiff. Henry Carrington. Liam Rees Carroll. Dexter Chung Jen Howe. Emma Louise Clissold. Megan Cronk. Ellie Louise Dando. Alexis de Massol de Rebetes. Anandi Sunil Deshpande. Devesh Taki. Theon Louise Dyer. Nancy Eckhart. Margaret Jennings Elsie. Hamdan Mohammed Hamdan. Courtney Endall. Jack Matthew Endersby. Darren Erewandla. Kieran James Evans. Gwenllian Kathy Griffith Evans. Lisa Evans. Catherine Fanstone. Sinead Gallagher. Emily Gammon. Jia Jingan. Lowry and Harrod Green. Hannah Greenhalgh. Bethany Gribble. Ellery Jane Griffiths. Lisa Grosser. Morgan Gurmin. Moises Gutierrez. Ahmed Hakro. Oratili Omfile Hall. Eliza Hamed. Rory Hargreaves. Morgan Owen Davies. Mohammed Hashim. Laura Kathleen Clelo Humphreys. Marley Mena Herford. Najma Imoda, sorry. Danielle Jagiri. Olivia Ellen James. Alexandra Jones. Hattie Charlotte Jones. James Dewey Jones. Sarah Ann Jones. Danielle Jones Terry. Dia Karim. Faria Korsur. Aisha Khan. Ella Daisy Tracy Lawrence. India Lesbiril. Manon Louise Thacker Lewis.
Val Jamili. Val Jamili.
Josephine Mary Val Jamili. Stephanie Claire Maddox. Hannah Matthews. Sam Mendini. Darshini Modia. Shalini Moore. Siddhant Moore. Dan Morgan. Mehdi Morgan. Elizabeth Karen Morris. Angela Nelson Morgan. Anupfuid Singh Nandra. Muhammad Amjad Shah bin Noshad. Samuel Norman. Caris Krieg Nurse. Olivia Awur Ochilo. Oluwakorede Okundana. Lucia Owen. Eva Pridich. Isha Panj. Reisa Rahim. Lily Rayner. Farida Rashwan. Caitlin Elizabeth Roberts. Ruby Rogers. Raim Rufael. Imogen Ryan. Anna Santos. Arushi Sharma. Sarah Smessart. Pravina Subramaniam. Sabina Sunwar. Kanchana Swaminathan. Fizat Tanveer. Annika Tasneem. Bethan Taylor. Rachel Townsend. Heather Mary Turner. Shilpa Nayar. Twinkle Solanki. Caitlin Ann Williams. Harry Williams. Thomas Wilson. Sophie Yates. Isat Mustafa Sunad. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor will now confer the award.
Many, many names, each one an individual achievement and each one an individual journey. Siwrne unigol ar draws y llwyfan. So again, you sustained that acknowledgement really well. Diolch yn fawr iawn. There was a cry coming from the back there that sounded like a 1920s Rolls-Royce horn. Respect. Would all the students who have just crossed the stage please stand if you're able to? Trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd I mi gan y Brifysgol, derbyniaf chi i'ch dyfarniad a'r holl freintiau a ddaw yn ei sgil. Llongyfarchiadau. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Steddwch os gwelwch yn dda.
The following students to be presented have achieved a doctoral degree, and in recognition of their achievements and their research, they will be presented to the presiding officers who will doff in return. I, Professor Urfan Khalik, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Salman Isa Salman Al-Jawdar. Dr. Asala Mihobi. Dr. Hamoud Al-Otaibi. Dr. Daniel Chess. Dr. Joshua Larkham. Dr. Aaron Bernard Yves Moyson. Dr. Charlotte Park Morton. Dr. Hannah Richards. I, Professor Urfan Khalik, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Laws. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 7 or so years I've been announcing degrees and names, this is the very first time I have the very distinguished honor of awarding this particular degree. It is a higher doctorate. It is awarded to those who have made an internationally important contribution to research, which is of global impact and also influences the work of others. It is my very great privilege to award this degree to the Justice of the Constitutional Court, friend and colleague, Justice of the Constitutional Court of the Czech Republic, friend and colleague, Professor Jiří Příban. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor will now confer the award.
Would all the students who have just crossed the stage please stand if you're able to? Trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd I mi gan y Brifysgol, derbyniaf chi i'ch dyfarniad a'r holl freintiau a ddaw yn ei sgil. Llongyfarchiadau. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Bore da bawb, Angharad Neilir ydw I, Deon y Gymraeg ar gyfer y Brifysgol, a llongyfarchiadau mawr iawn I bob un ohonoch chi. Good morning, bore da, I'm Angharad Neilir, Dean for the Welsh Language for the University. Llongyfarchiadau to you all. I will present this part of the ceremony in both Welsh and English. We come to the part of the ceremony that celebrates distinguished people for outstanding contributions within their field and to society. I Gaerdydd, Cymru a'r byd, to Cardiff, Wales and the world. Mae'n fraint cael cyflwyno'r bore yma, Betty George a Dr Daf James yn gymrodyr Rhydedd. Today we recognise Betty George and Dr Daf James with the award of an honorary fellowship. Their success is a part of your day's success. Cafodd Betty George ei magu yng Nghoed y Bryn, Ceredigion, ac ar ôl mynychu Ysgol Ramadeg Llandysul, daeth I goleg Prifysgol Caerdydd a graddio yn y Gymraeg. Cafodd hefyd gyfle I astudio cerddoriaeth yma fel rhan o'i blwyddyn gyntaf. Betty George was born in Coed y Bryn, Ceredigion. After attending Llandysul Grammar School, she studied at University College Cardiff and graduated with a degree in Welsh. She also studied music here as part of her first-year studies. Dechreuodd ei gyrfa fel darlledwraig a newyddiadurwraig yn Abertawe yn yr 1970au, ac mae wedi gweithio yn llawrydd i'r BBC ac S4C ar bob math o raglenni. Caiff ei hadnabod erbyn hyn yn bennaf am ei rhaglen radio Betty a'i phobl, a ddathlodd 20 mlynedd o ddarlledu yr Hydref diwethaf. She began her career as a broadcaster and journalist in Swansea in the 1970s, and since then has worked as a freelancer for BBC Wales and S4C. Best known for her Welsh radio programme Betty a'i phobl, Betty and Her People, that celebrated 40 years of production last autumn, Betty has also presented music programmes, documentaries, and for years was the on-stage presenter at the Cardiff Singer of the World competition. A campaigner for better dementia care, Betty presented a number of programmes on the subject and took gold at the New York Film Festival for David and Betty Lost for Words, which documented her life caring for her late partner. In 2025, she was nominated for a St David Award. Diolch yn fawr I chi am eich cyfraniad arbennig. Diolch. Mae Dr Daf James yn artist aml ddisgyblaethol wedi ennill sawl gwobr fel dramodydd, cyfansoddwr, perfformiwr, cynhyrchydd ac awdur. Daf James is a multidisciplinary artist an award-winning playwright, screenwriter, composer, performer and novelist, and a 24-25 BAFTA breakthrough. He gained a first-class degree in English literature from Edinburgh University and holds a PhD in queer theory and performance from the University of Warwick. Enillodd ei ddrama gyntaf, Llwyth, sy'n adrodd hanes 4 ffrind hoyw ar noson gêm ryngwladol yng Nghaerdydd, Sawl Gwobr, ac mae'r ddrama hon hefyd wedi sicrhau llais newydd a phwysig ar gyfer y theatr Gymraeg. His award-winning debut play Llwyth, about 4 gay friends on a Rugby International night in Cardiff, was recognised as having changed the landscape of Welsh language theatre forever. Yn ddiweddar, ysgrifennodd Daf y gyfres Lost Boys and Fairies ar gyfer y BBC, cyfres a gafodd ei henwebu ar gyfer Gwobr BAFTA. Enillodd ei nofel gyntaf Jack a'r Angel, Wobr Tir na Nog a Llyfr y Flwyddyn ar gyfer plant a phobl ifanc. Recently, Daf wrote, executively produced and musically directed the BAFTA-nominated and multi-award-winning mini-series Lost Boys and Fairies for the BBC. He's also a prolific composer and lyricist, performs as the Total Theatre Award-winning Sue Timms, and his debut novel, Jack a'r Angel, won the Tir na Nog Award for the Children's Literature, as well as the Wales Book of the Year Prize for Children and Young People. Diolch hefyd am eich cyfraniad arbennig, Daf. Fe gyflwynaf y nawr felly Betty George a Daf James i gael eu hanrhydeddu. I will now present these distinguished individuals who are to be awarded an honorary fellowship of Cardiff University. Anrydeddus ddirprwy Isganghellor, cyflwynaf i chi y rhai sydd i'w derbyn yn gymrodyr Eranrhydedd Prifysgol Caerdydd. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Betty George and Daf James to be accepted as Honorary Fellows of Cardiff University.
Trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd i mi gan y Cyngor, derbyniaf chi fel cymrodyr Eranrhydedd Prifysgol Caerdydd. Llongyfarchiadau mawr. Merci.
Wel, dwi'n cofio'r dyddiad yma dros 60 mlynedd yn ôl. Over 60 years ago, I remember this day, pan dderbyniais i fy ngradd, a mae'n ddiwrnod special iawn. It is a very special day for you. Diolch Angharad, yn fawr iawn am y cyflwyniad, yn gwerthfawrogi cael fy atgoffa o ddyddiau pell yn ôl. What a huge privilege it is to be the fellow of my alma mater. Pam dod I Gaerdydd i'r brifysgol? As someone from the Wild West, why did I decide on Cardiff? Well, the music department was one reason, one of the best in Britain, and still is, I believe. Ac roedd yr eicon Saunders Lewis yn darlithio yn yr adran Gymraeg, ond yn anffodus roedd e wedi ymddeol erbyn I fi gyrraedd. Well, annwyl raddedigion, dear graduates, I could keep you for hours talking about the past, in the Middle Ages, that's how it feels, but I won't. And I'm no entertainer, I leave that to my friend, Daf James. And what an honour it is to share this platform with him. Y dramodydd gorau yn gweithio yn y Gymraeg heb os. And one of the best dramatists in Britain, Lost Boys and Fairies, was a masterpiece. Mae heddi yn ddiwrnod arbennig iawn I chi. It's a very special day for you today. Byddwch yn falch o'ch hunain. Be proud of yourselves and of what you've achieved, and that under pretty challenging circumstances at times. I had my grandson staying with me last week. He's in his early 20s, and he was working on a documentary on the Oasis reunion. Now, I thought I'd mention that. It'll help my image as a cool mangi. Fe fuon ni'n trafod yr heriau sy'n wynebu pobl ifanc y dyddiau yma. We discussed the challenges you as young people have to face. I found it very interesting. He was telling me there is a tendency to follow a path others follow, and that is suggested by influencers, maybe. Instead of saying, no, that's no path for me, he was saying that everyone should have the guts to stick with what they know is right for them, and he's speaking from experience. The world today is a tough place for your generation, and I don't envy you one bit. Ond meddyliwch beth allech chi wneud, but think of what you're capable of doing. Indeed, what you must do, apparently, if this planet is to survive. Reverse climate change, for one thing, but also demand a world with no wars. Instead of standing by, witnessing humans killing fellow humans and the slaughtering of thousands of children, you will lead the majority who hate the idea of war and proclaim, enough is enough. And instead of spending trillions upon trillions on making tools of war, you'll make sure it's spent on making life better for each individual human being on this planet. And when that happens, I'll be defrosted and will join you in that peaceful paradise. Mae gen I ffydd ynddoch chi. I have faith in you. Pob dymuniad da I chi gyd. I wish you the very best in the future. Diolch yn fawr.
Oh, there's a lot of you, isn't there? It's so amazing to be up here. I actually feel like the Gallagher brothers standing here in front of this crowd. But Dr. Angharad Naylor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Cardiff University, and esteemed guests, not least you wonderful lot graduating today, o Waelod Calon, diolch. Thank you. This is a complete braint ac anrydedd, an honour and a privilege. Now, I've made jokes before that we Welsh are always saying things are an honour and a privilege, because as a minority nation, historically, we have often not had the confidence to believe we deserve great things. But even though this is an honour and a privilege, every single one of you today deserves this. You are brilliant, and today is a great day indeed. Not least because I get to share this stage with Betty George, who coincidentally I referenced in my very first play, Llwyth, when its protagonist claimed that he had met God. And they had two heads, the Welsh broadcaster Hywel Gwynfryn on the right, and the indomitable Betty George on the left. That's how much I admire her. I made her a godhead. But actually, every one of you here today is divine. The fact that you are here at all is a huge achievement. Some of you have turned incredible things around and made great sacrifices to get to university, let alone graduate. But some of you might also be feeling lost, not know what you want to do or how to do it. But don't worry, neither did I when I graduated. One of the reasons I went all the way to Scotland to university was because at the time I struggled to reconcile my queer and Welsh identity, to be gay in Welsh. Now, somehow, I've managed to make a career out of it. And I find myself in the rather surprising position of receiving an honorary fellowship for it too. In that very city I ran away from, which I'm now proud to call home. That's why this is particularly meaningful to me. And I think it also proves whatever is going on for you, my friends, you can always turn things around. But finding your way can take time. I didn't actually write my first play until I was 27. I was a lost boy throughout my 20s. I temped in Pendragon Furniture credit control department, even though I was rubbish at maths. Clubbed far too hard over the weekends to numb my pain. Toured in a road safety production called Why Did the Chicken Cross the Road? And never really found out the answer. And had an unsuccessful career as a serious actor, instead getting cast as a ukulele playing beaver, a violin playing cricket, and a trombone playing raven. It seemed I was destined to portray animals who played instruments badly for the rest of my life. As an artist, I have had more failures than you have had hot dinners. But here's the thing. Successful careers are what happens in between an extensive series of failures. And success comes from learning how to fail successfully. The ability to dust yourselves off and move forward. After a musical I wrote was critically panned, I couldn't play the piano for a year. So I wrote a novel instead. And it ended up doing all right. You have to mourn your losses, yes. But the trick is to transform that grief into fuel. Keep moving, breathing, finding the things to be grateful for, and doing the things that spark joy. And find your people. I can't state that enough. To be honest, this fellowship isn't just mine. It also belongs to my family, my teachers, my friends, and remarkable husband who have helped lift me up off the floor again and again. So find the people who love you for your uniqueness, because you are all unique. For example, I'm a neurodivergent scriptwriting, composer, performer, novelist, academic, dad, well-speaking, vegetarian, queer with a penchant for drag. And I've made a living out of that. Most importantly, just be kind to yourself and to other people. Life's too short to work with bleeps. I now refuse to work with bleeps who behave in bleepy ways. Insert your own adjectives as you wish. Mine aren't appropriate for this very distinguished stage. Finally, I wish you all the best in life, beautiful humans. And though there will be failures, there will also be little wins and occasional massive triumphs, which is what today is for all of you, a massive bloody triumph. And I think that bleep is appropriate. So allow yourself this moment to celebrate this win, to be proud of what you've achieved. And that's why I'm going to ask every single one of you to look into the eyes of the person next to you, even if you aren't graduating, and say after 3, "You are brilliant," to each other. Okay? Can we do this? Okay. So, after 3, 1, 2, 3, you are brilliant. Yes, you are. And it is genuinely an honor and a privilege to be here in this moment with all of you. Braint ac yn ryddedd. Diolch yn fawr.
Well, that was, as they say in Neath, tidy. There are very few things I have ever been able to do in my life that have impressed my mother. There will be one or two people present who will share that feeling. But that I have met Betty George might just clinch it when I ring her tonight. And when I then tell my daughters about the footwear of new honorary fellows, that will take me to an altogether new height. Dav and Betty have between them painted something of the picture of the future that those of you who have received your awards now take your place to shape. And you do that as Cardiff alumni who are great, inquisitive, and passionate global citizens. Some of you will become activists and have very high profiles indeed. Others will be equally significant as quiet, solid contributors to local communities. For Cardiff has given you much more than a degree. You have been encouraged to ask questions, to challenge conventional wisdom, and you have shown willingness, determination, and spirit, which are the hallmarks of a Cardiff University graduate. For some of you, today will of course be tinged with a touch of sadness because you will be saying goodbye to this extraordinarily vibrant and diverse city. But Cardiff University will always be your university. And wherever life takes you, we very much hope that you will become a flag bearer for this university, to carry forward its values of kindness and generosity of spirit. The Welsh word hiraeth is made for moments such as this. It conveys a deep sense of place, of love, of longing, of memories deep within the heart. We hope that you will keep hiraeth in your hearts for Cardiff University and that you will stay in touch with each other and with us. And with this in mind, I would like to invite you to join a new university tradition, the Reunion, which we will be launching as the big reunion weekend in July 2026. Please come back to Cardiff to celebrate the first anniversary of your graduation. For we want our alumni to stay connected, to return to a place where friendships are forged and intellectual passion ignited. Come back year after year for the milestone of your anniversary graduations, and there will be parties at the 5th, the 10th, the 20th, and so on. You can reconnect and reminisce. And I hope that you, the class of 2025, will be here, some of you even in 2075, and that you will, of course, done your part to make that extraordinary vision that Betty has given us an absolute reality. So I hope you will volunteer to participate in that, to become captains for the class of 2025, and the details of all of this will be sent to you shortly. Before we close the ceremony, there is one further requirement to make of those of you who have received awards today. And it is something of a Cardiff tradition that at this occasion, you say a thank you to all of those who have supported you through the course of your study. They have laughed with you and wept with you. They have received late-night telephone calls and offered encouragement, and one or two of them might also have enabled the odd bank transfer to take place. But we won't mention that today. So could I now please ask those of you who have received degrees to stand, if you are able, to turn in the general direction of where you think your supporters will be, and to say to them and to the extraordinary staff of our academic schools, diolch yn fawr. Please stand and applaud them. Thank you very much. Please be seated. To close our celebrations, we now watch a short film that welcomes you to the Cardiff University alumni family. At the end of that film, would you please stand as the platform party leaves the stage? And above else, I hope you enjoy your celebrations this afternoon and for the rest of your lives. Diolch yn fawr.
Take a look around you. Be welwch chi? What do you see? Today we take stock of everything we've achieved and say thank you to those who always believed. So scroll through memories, cymryd selfies gyda'r besties, and stand up straight for the photographer. Say cheese. Today we remember how we got this far. The late nights and bright lights, and moments we didn't do as well as we might. Pob dyddiad cau, dyfal barhau, o weithio'n galed i'r dathliadau. Today we're rewarded for all the hard work that started way back with the first steps we took. Dropped at Talabont, yng Nghennydd, Aberdare or Aberconwy, I ganol y freshers, heb wybod lle I fynd, heb nabod bob un, nes canfod ffrindiau oes yn neidiau hoff cytun. First dates.
Soulmates.
I'm gonna start crying at this rate. Today we're part of something that's hard to describe, the new class of an old tribe. A tradition that'll be there our whole lives, a network that continues to help us thrive. Years from now, we'll see someone with a badge on their tie or hear people on a bus shouting,
"Cheese drive."
And we'll remember where we came from, where we came into our own, where we made our mark. Canfod Cartref, where we found a home. Today we make noise like it's the varsity game and count ourselves lucky we found people with the same interests, hobbies, byd o hiwmor nes bod ni'n ffoli, people who tried to shelter us with broken brollies, people who helped us find our limits and push them out the way, people who helped us get to this point.
On this day.
Today is a day we mark everything we've shared, a day we tell people just how much we cared, that they were always there, even when they couldn't be. Roeddwn ni'n gwybod y deiau eto hael ar fryn for all the long hours we've had to put in. We still had those nights that went right through till dawn, and days we dug deeper than ever before. So here's to those late night revisers and early risers, to sunny days that passed by in Butte Park, to that special someone who gave us that special spark and helped us to grow, to transform, to dream. Today's for that someone we're proud to have at 18. What happens tomorrow is whatever you choose. Go make news or break news, but absolutely refuse to be told that can't be done, because we've only just begun to make records and break records and make history and break history and say,
Dyma fy myd I. This is the world I want to see.
10,
20,
30,
40.
Years from now, you'll look back on today and realise you've been by your side the whole way. But right now, right here, let's savour the moment and say, Llongyfarchiadau, congratulations. Let's get the celebrations underway. Take a moment. Look around you. Be welwch chi? What do you see? We're Cardiff University. Croeso, welcome to your alumni community.